Yo, Rogan.
Oh, yeah. He's
Unbelievable, bro.
back on the
And
tube.
now he's back on.
He's on Apple
He's
Pods,
everywhere. I
and
think he's going to be on YouTube too.
soon, yeah.
So, yeah, just
crazy.
the GOAT.
Yeah.
Just the GOAT.
I was saying this to you, and this is before the deal even got announced, but this is when I knew Spotify was smart to sign the first deal. My sister-in-law is talking to me about a podcast. She's recommending it. She's like, you should check it out. You would like it. You know where I go to look up the podcast? Didn't even think about it. I went to Spotify. I never would have done that pre-Rogan. Another podcast an asshole army member told me about called The Knowledge Project. Yo, you got to listen to this episode. Shouts to you. I forgot your name. I'm sorry. But I remember now I looked it up on Spotify. That's why you throw the crazy bag at Rogan. Yeah. Because they made Spotify the place to go to.
Yeah, you're paying for market share.
You are paying for market share, and he did it.
Yeah, it would have been Apple Podcasts before that, right?
It would absolutely would have been Apple
Go to the
Podcasts.
podcast app.
Yeah.
Where podcasts were created, I don't even go to that.
I don't go to it. I used to go to Apple. I had one called Overcast that I would go to. I had like all these different apps. Would never go to Spotify.
I don't even listen to music on Apple no more.
Oh, yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
Like to me, I listen to music still on Apple, and then I would listen to pods on Spotify.
Yes.
And now it's shifted my music consumption to so they're making money off of not just podcasts. They're making money.
Yeah.
It like you said, it's not just his podcast. It's everybody who listens to podcasts on Spotify.
Yes, and that's not just. I'm sure the same thing. Oh, Alex Cooper's doing the same thing for girls. I'm
Nah,
sure,
they got rid of
but
it.
not to that same level. Yeah, and they kept Rogan for a
I
reason.
thought they signed it too.
Oh, I thought they let that go.
I think Rogan's number one, Alex Cooper's number two in terms of all the deals they signed panning out.
Yeah.
Rogan distant number one.
they
and
did
then I
it.
give Alex Cooper her credit. She's a beast. But like Rogan is the reason any dude is listening to podcasts on
I gotta
Spotify,
ask
basically.
Rogan how he got the bag. I don't know if it's. I mean, it seems like it's bigger than the first bag. Plus, he got the freedom to put it wherever.
From what I've read, Spotify's like, we don't need. I think, again, they're not dumb, dude. I think they threw the bag at Rogan to be exclusive because they knew changing behavior is the single hardest thing to do. Changing behavior of someone instinctively going to Apple Podcasts to Spotify, I need you to be exclusive. I'm going to throw crazy bag at you.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we don't need exclusivity anymore because we won. The war is over.
Right.
Now
wonder
let's
if
just
they
do a
recoup.
revenue share on ads. And the best way to get revenue share on ads is let them have it everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you take the piece of the
So-
YouTube. I don't know if that's how it's structured.
So it's
but
worth $250 million to get a percentage of Rogan's ads. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're getting a percentage of the ads.
I also figured there was another angle where it's like, you've gotten the market share, but you also know how he can move market share. So you have to pay him to not
leave.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he could easily just be like, I'm not putting it on Spotify.
I'll go
anymore.
exclusive to Apple.
Yeah.
Or I won't put it on Spotify. He don't even have to go exclusive somewhere else. He'll go,
Everywhere
I
else but
won't
Spotify.
go to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I'm sure that factors in too.
Yeah.
This guy moves the fucking landscape of entertainment.
Yes.
So you just have to, it is what it is. But I also think they
Unbelievable.
aren't going to do exclusive deals anniemore. They're like, we'll still do it.
Well,
We'll
they
just take a
got the
percentage
market
of
share.
ads.
The
Yeah.
whole idea with the deals was to get people to consume podcasts on the Spotify app or the
Yeah.
Spotify platform. It's like, you've achieved it. You don't have to spend any more money.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they slashed so many people in that department. It's like, it's been done. We've got all the people.
I think people might even miss how hard that was because at least even for me, I feel like I was on like the edge of it. Had I not been like involved in podcasting at the time, I don't even know if I would have noticed. But like all audio was consumed on YouTube and like Apple, like going from all the way back to like iTunes days, and like they just held that like lineage all the way up.
And dude, you
until
know what's
now.
crazy? Before the Rogan deal, they were handing out other deals. I think before other podcasts that I would listen to on my other apps, when they went exclusive to Spotify, I stopped listening. Spotify became my primary app, and I just fell out of it with that podcast. And I don't even want to make anybody feel bad or whatever, so no names. But like, don't even think about him anymore.
Yeah.
Rogan got me to switch my entire behavioral habits. Keep listening to that. It's like a fucking crazy thing.
Yeah.
Huge risk, but it paid off massively.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really
I
cool.
mean, shouts, dude. That's insane.
And I also think they learned that the Spotify exclusive pods weren't working, especially if they don't come in with the built-in audience. Like they launched so many Spotify originals.
Yeah.
And it just
With
didn't.
like big names thinking that it will come, and it's like, nah. They have to have the built-in audience. We have to trust you.
You also had to overpay. You had to. I think they did this knowing we're going to overpay. We're going to lose on a lot of these guys. Like Russ was talking about with the advances you give. Like 4 of these won't pan out. One of them will.
Yeah.
4 of these podcast deals won't pan out. One of them happened to be Rogan, and the guy moves fucking mountains. We got the right guy. You
It's
hit a
weird.
grand
It's
slam.
like podcasting isn't like going to see someone at a nightclub where like if the person's famous enough, even though that they got nothing to do with dancing or DJing, you might just show up. You know, you're gonna be like, oh shit, fucking Jay-Z's gonna be hanging out at 11 in Vegas for the Super Bowl after party. I'll go watch Jay-Z 100%. Podcasting is like, you gotta specifically want to enjoy listening to those people. It's like, that's why I knew Charlemagne with the Brilliant Idiots, I knew it was gonna kill, is because people were already in a listening pattern with Charlemagne. But if random actor just starts a podcast, it might work, it might not. Smartless ended up working. Those three guys were great, and it's three of them, right?
Yeah.
Those three guys are great, they ended up killing. How many famous people have started podcasts that no one gives a flying fuck about?
It also takes time, and you got to be committed to it. Like even like Dax Shepard show is like one of my favorites, but he's been doing it for 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah,
7
it
years.
feels like an overnight success because we all found out about it late. But
years in, we
But
found out
like
about it.
he's already independently wealthy, successful actor, producer, whatever. Like married to literally Frozen, and like just doubles down and works super hard on this one pod. For dumb long. And before he gets a bag from Spotify.
Is he gonna keep doing it with Spotify?
I don't know. I don't think they're not exclusive anymore. I don't think.
They're not. Got it.
But yeah, I think they cut a lot of their exclusivity deals because they're like, hey, I think we got market share. Let's go.
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
that's
calculated move.
Let's go blow the show up.
And now you see the guys who they made money, who the deal was like, this was the winner.
And
It's
that's
him and maybe Alex Cooper.
That's the other thing to think about with when you take a deal like that. Like if you take a deal that could significantly, with Rogan, he was great enough where it didn't reduce his market share. His show probably just grew, and he had to bust his ass to do that shit.
He never let up.
He did not.
He could have
let
gone 3 a week probably and been,
did totally fine. But he kept doing banger after banger after banger.
4 a week, 5 a week.
Yeah, I don't even think he gets enough credit for that.
Yeah.
Like he went behind a paywall pretty much,
Yeah.
and the show grew.
Can you imagine going exclusively to Patreon and then your numbers go up overall?
Yeah.
So
kept the work ethic.
unreal, but fuck, what was I just saying? What brought us to that? Oh, that's why you got to be careful when you take a bag for an exclusivity thing. Like, you better hope that bag is all the money you're going to make for the rest of your time podcasting.
Sustainable. Yeah.
Because what you're potentially doing is significantly decreasing your audience size for a 2-year window.
Yeah.
You don't know if that audience is going to be there when you come back to the open market, and you don't know if the podcast company is going to re-sign you because they might have gotten your market share.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember Netflix had this strategy where they would add an extra season onto popular shows. So there was a popular show called The Killing on AMC, and Netflix was like, we're going to do an extra season on Netflix. And it was a great way to grab market share. There was like all these fans of this show, and they weren't like necessarily the biggest shows, but they were devout viewership. And they would do an extra season on Netflix. So this is early on. You're like, I'll buy Netflix to watch my favorite show.
Arrested Development did the same thing.
They did it with Arrested Development as well. And they're never doing another season after that because they don't have to. They got you. They got you in the door. They gave you the little tastes, whatever it was. Once you get the $10.99 on your monthly bill and you see all the other shit that's on Netflix, good to go. So I think that there were some people that saw the bag and they were like, wow, all that money, that's fucking crazy. I'm definitely gonna do that. But they might not have realized that was the last bag that they're gonna get.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll see if they're good enough to continue to build. But like, it's a harder thing.
Yeah.
When your audience size significantly shrinks, then to go back out there in the world and then just hope they all find it again.
Also, if your pay isn't tied to performance, it kind of just goes down to like almost like character or like personal philosophy of like what you do. If your pay is not tied to performance, then are you someone that's gonna like still show up every day and work as hard as you were before? Or are you gonna kind of coast?
Especially if it's not some shit that you even like. Like a lot of these people that were doing podcasts, they just did it because their agent presented them with a bag and they're like, I just gotta talk for an hour a week and I get this amount of money, I'll do it. Those people, once they get their guaranteed money, they're not giving a flying fuck about it.
I think like Meghan Markle, I don't even think she finished the first season. Like, she wasn't doing it regularly. Like, she was
It's not for some people and they just kind of bounce.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really cool that he did that. Just like kept the work ethic and kept the character to just be like, I'm gonna go even harder and have bigger episodes. Even though it's not necessarily directly going to, performance bonuses or whatever.
Yeah.
So really cool. I don't know if that's part of his deal, but I think it's cool.
Podcasting isn't hard, but it is something that you have to want to do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if it's not something that you enjoy doing,
Yeah.
you will make really horrible podcasts.
Yeah.
I was saying to Charlemagne when we were doing Brilliant Idiot, it's like the hardest thing about podcasting is chemistry.
Yeah.
Like getting chemistry with the people you do it with, that's the impossible thing to get.
Yeah.
Like the people that have great natural chemistry, they can do a podcast. It could be fun. It could be easy. The people who don't, but they just have names that they bring it together, it's gonna suck. People are gonna hate it. They're not gonna want it.
Yeah. I think consistency. Yeah. Are you willing to just do it every week for the next 3 years or whatever?
Yeah. In obscurity.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got, Mark?
Did you see, just to add on to that, podcast has also added audiobooks to all premium memberships.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
Who did?
So,
Spotify?
like, yeah, Spotify. Sorry, Spotify. So like you can go on Spotify now if you just have the
Oh,
music
wow.
one. You can also listen to like 150,000 books. You get 15 hours a month to listen to books.
Oh shit.
Pretty fire.
Fire, right? So that's what it seems like the next acquisition. They had a couple different audiobooks on there before.
Yeah,
but I
of
think
course.
those were like independent.
Yeah, the acquisition they're doing is crazy.
smart.
They're
Yeah.
trying to be the audiobook, anything that you listen to.
Anything
Coming for
that
Audible.
is- yeah.
And I'll be honest, Audible's a pain in the fucking
Bro,
ass.
why
Yeah,
is
of
it so
course.
hard?
I quit. I bought
it's
23
awful.
credits. I didn't know how to access them.
Buy
Shitty user
credits.
interface.
You
It's
can't
horrible.
get more. You can only buy so many books a month.
Why
based
can
off
I
the
not just buy a book when I want to buy a fucking book?
It's because they don't want to lose money to Apple. So you buy the token and then you buy the book, but they
So it's their
30%
way
cut.
around Apple, because if you're buying things through the Apple store, Apple gets that piece.
30%
Let them
cut.
get the piece, because you lost me, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what they do is genius because they give you all those credits, but then if you try to cancel, you lose all the credits.
Yeah.
So it's like it forces you to. It's like, damn, I have like 10 credits sitting here. If I cancel, I
I'ma
lose them.
cancel.
All. So I'ma just hold on to this.
It's good fast money.
You're like it's really.
It's a one-time
I've
lick.
tried canceling a few times, and I was like, damn.
I'm canceling. I ain't using these credits.
Ease of act. Once Spotify comes in and just offers me books,
Yeah.
and I realize, oh shit, I like audiobooks, and man, if they got the reading component as well, oh shit, I enjoy this.
Oh, that's gonna be
I'm
crazy.
And
never
you know what's
going
gonna
back
come with
to
that?
Audible
Couple more dollars a month on the cost, and you're gonna be like, I'm getting something.
That's what they
else.
get you.
$5 to have my favorite books.
That's
to
what they
have
get
a
you.
library.
It's 15 hours the month, and then you can pay for 10 more.
Yeah.
Because 15 hours is a pretty good book. I read big books, but 15 hours still.
Oh, do you recently? Yeah. How big of a book you read?
27 hours,
Big
baby.
book.
27 hours. But yeah, 15 hours will get you
I
through
read
most books.
big books. I read big books.
big
Yo,
books.
what's a big
Yeah,
book?
not the books you
Bro,
dumb
the
dumb.
power
Yeah.
broker. The power broker.
Power broker.
2 times speed also. I'm fucking
Damn,
smart.
dude.
You can
I'm
go
real
2x. I retain nothing at 2x.
I retain nothing in that
I
1X,
realize
so
my
I don't give a
retention
fuck.
is 1 and 1.25. You go over 1.25 in this year, out that. My brain is not faster than 1.25.
It's
I
crazy
feel the same
because if
way.
I listened to it on one, you lost me after.
Oh,
30
I'ma fall
seconds.
asleep at one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
so it got to be 2 because now
anything
it's,
I listen to
I'm working to
before-
listen.
I'm kind of like
Yeah,
that.
it's like, if I don't got to work to listen, nah, you lost me.
There's too much to think about.
No, 2 is too fast. Because I pretend that I'm listening, and
then
then,
you just
I'll try
jump.
to explain it to someone after, and they'll ask one question. I'll be like, "You listen to it, bro. I don't fucking remember. I don't know how any of this shit works."
I'm pointing.